Imagine walking into your office on a Monday morning and finding out that every single person sitting around you, your marketing team, your content team, your data analysts, your customer support staff, and even your project managers have all been replaced overnight by a single piece of software that costs less per month than what any one of them earned in a single day. Not replaced by a team of robots, not replaced by a cheaper workforce overseas, replaced by one AI system that works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never asks for a raise, never calls in sick, never misses a deadline, and never makes the kind of human errors that cost companies millions of dollars every single year. This is not a warning about the distant future. This is not a prediction from a technology analyst sitting in a think tank somewhere. This is what is actively happening right now inside real companies with real employees and real consequences that are already showing up in unemployment data, corporate earnings reports, and the private conversations happening inside boardrooms that most people never get to hear. OpenAI just changed the game in a way that nobody was fully prepared for. And the businesses that understood it first are already moving, while everyone else is still debating whether AI is really that serious. To understand why OpenAI's latest development is hitting the job market so fast and so hard, you first need to understand just how dominant artificial intelligence has already become in the business world before this latest breakthrough even happened. We are not talking about a few tech startups experimenting with chatbots. We are talking about a complete restructuring of how modern businesses operate at every level. By the end of 2025, over 77% of companies globally reported actively using or piloting AI tools inside their organizations, according to a McKinsey survey covering thousands of businesses across every major industry. The global AI market was valued at over $390 billion in 2025 and is projected to cross $800 billion by 2030. Goldman Sachs published a research report estimating that AI could automate tasks currently performed by the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs globally. And that was before OpenAI released what they just released. The World Economic Forum projected that by 2027, 85 million jobs could be displaced by the shift to automation and AI, while simultaneously creating 97 million new roles requiring skills most current workers do not yet have. The transition window between losing old jobs and gaining new ones is exactly where the pain lives. And OpenAI just made that window significantly shorter. If those numbers do not make you want to understand exactly what OpenAI just built, hit like and subscribe right now, because what comes next explains why this is different from every previous AI announcement. So what exactly did OpenAI release, and why is it fundamentally different from everything that came before it? Everything comes down to a concept called agentic AI, and understanding it is the key to understanding why this moment is different from every previous AI milestone. Previous AI tools, no matter how impressive, were reactive. You gave them a task. They completed it. They waited for the next instruction. They were powerful assistants, but they still required a human being to direct them at every step. OpenAI's latest system does not work this way. It is designed to receive a high-level goal and then autonomously plan, execute, adjust, and complete every step required to achieve that goal without waiting for human instruction at each stage. It can browse the internet, write and execute code, manage files, send communications, analyze data, generate reports, and coordinate between multiple software platforms simultaneously, all driven by its own internal planning and decision-making, rather than moment-to-moment human direction. In practical terms, what this means for a business is almost impossible to overstate. A task that previously required a marketing manager to brief a content writer, who then briefed a designer, who then sent work to a social media manager, who then reported results to an analyst, can now be handled end-to-end by a single AI agent that manages every step of that workflow autonomously. Read that again. An entire team workflow, multiple specialized human roles working in sequence, replaced by one system running continuously without supervision. The specific case studies coming out of early adopter companies are the clearest evidence that this is not theoretical. A mid-sized e-commerce company in the United States publicly reported reducing its content and marketing team from 11 people to 2 after deploying OpenAI's agentic system, with the 2 remaining employees serving primarily as oversight and quality control, rather than active content producers. A financial services firm reported automating its entire first-tier customer support operation, previously handled by a team of 32 agents, with an AI system that now handles over 94% of customer inquiries without human intervention. A technology startup reported using OpenAI's system to replace what would have been a 5-person data analysis and reporting team, generating the same weekly business intelligence reports in a fraction of the time at a fraction of the cost. These are not projections. These are documented operational decisions being made by real businesses right now in 2026, and they represent only the earliest wave of what analysts are describing as the most significant workforce restructuring since the Industrial Revolution. If you're starting to realize that this story is about a lot more than just a new software release, you are paying exactly the right kind of attention. But here's what nobody is telling regular employees and job seekers about what this actually means for their careers and their financial security in a way that goes beyond the usual technology optimism. The argument that AI creates as many jobs as it destroys is a real argument, and historically, it has been true across previous waves of technological automation. But the speed of this transition is categorically different from anything that came before it. When factories automated in the 20th century, the transition happened over decades, giving workers in educational systems time to adapt, retrain, and redirect toward new opportunities. When software automated clerical work in the chaos, 90s and 2000s, the transition again happened over years, not months. What OpenAI has built operates on a timeline that compresses that adaptation window from years to months, and in some cases from months to weeks. The new jobs that AI will eventually create require skills in AI oversight, AI training, AI ethics, and AI system management that current educational institutions are nowhere near equipped to teach at the scale and speed the market now demands. The gap between the jobs being eliminated and the jobs being created is real, measurable, and growing faster than any retraining program currently in existence can address. The competitive landscape among AI companies makes this story even more urgent. OpenAI is not alone in this race. Google's DeepMind division has been developing its own agentic AI systems with capabilities that rival, and in some specific areas, exceed what OpenAI has publicly demonstrated. Anthropic, backed by billions, an investment from Google and Amazon, has been building AI agent frameworks specifically designed for enterprise deployment at scale. Microsoft, which has invested over $13 billion in OpenAI, is simultaneously building its own Copilot agent ecosystem directly into the productivity software that hundreds of millions of businesses around the world already use every single day. The competition among these companies is not slowing the deployment of agentic AI into the workforce. It is accelerating it, because each company is racing to capture enterprise contracts before its competitors do, which means pushing capabilities to market faster than any previous technology cycle has ever moved. The businesses that adopt first gain significant cost and efficiency advantages over competitors who wait. And that competitive pressure means the adoption curve is not going to slow down and give workers time to catch up. It is going to steepen. The bottom line is this: OpenAI did not just release a new AI tool. They released a system that fundamentally changes the economic calculation every business on Earth makes when deciding how many people to hire and for what roles. The agentic AI era does not just automate individual tasks. It automates entire workflows, entire team functions, and entire categories of knowledge work that were considered safe from automation as recently as 2 years ago. The employees who understand what the system actually does and proactively develop the skills to work alongside it, direct it, and manage it will find themselves more valuable than ever in a market that desperately needs people who can bridge the gap between AI capability and human judgment. The employees who wait, who assume their role is safe, who treat this as just another tech hype cycle, are making the most expensive assumption of their careers. OpenAI just changed the rules of the game. The only question that matters now is whether you're going to learn the new rules before your employer decides they no longer need someone who only knows the old ones. Make sure you are on the right side of this shift. And if this video helped you understand what is actually happening in the job market right now, hit the like button and subscribe to Quantum Pulse, because this story is moving faster than anyone predicted, and we are going to keep covering it before everyone else catches up.